Hello, my name is Safari Agaba. I'm an engineer, 10-year engineer in North America, Canada, USA, and I'm a professor. I'm also one of the founders and CEOs of Saftech Canada College, which is online college. We do have students all over the world, like Africa, Asia, North America, everywhere. So we do have classes going on about AI, cloud computing, like AI for business, cloud computing, validation, cybersecurity, project management, and IT project management. We put those skills together because those are the skills required on the markets today. When you go, especially people in North America and Canada and USA, most of the people don't have jobs. And the reason why they don't have jobs, it's not because jobs are not there. Jobs are there, but unfortunately, people don't have the skills to get into those jobs.
We're going to now dive deep into networking. So maybe everyone can just give me a recap of what you did in networking. We did something like LAN one. I think that one we all understand. I think we all know what is what is LAN. So now I don't know if I have a router around here.
Excuse me, Mr. David.
Yes.
I would like to know the difference between LAN and why LAN?
Kamgisha, Hussein, you remember that part? Maybe you can break it down because we went through it. That's why we're doing the overview of everything.
As he was asking about the difference between LAN and the other type is WAN. And today I also learned about another one which is called PAN. We can start with PAN, which is like a personal area network. As you may know, network is the way devices communicate with each other. So in the case of PAN, a personal area network would be like my phone turning on the hotspot for another device to be able to connect to my phone and use its data. And we also have like LAN, which is a local area network. In this case, I would give an example of a router or a Wi-Fi, which provides like network to all kinds of devices which may be able to connect to it. And a wide area network, which is WAN, it would be like an example would be MTN, which provides internet to many people, like in Uganda, Kigali, Rwanda, and many other places, like which is a wide area network. That's what I might be able to say.
Bernard, I hope you've understood that. Is there anyone with a question about LAN?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So we are now going to talk about the networking devices. So let's talk about what is a router. I say the router. What do you understand by a router, Beata? So have you seen a switch, Hussein?
No, I haven't seen one.
So do you see, let me give an example. Like there is whereby you find very many people are having Ethernet cables connected to their computers. Yes? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
But then they are coming from a specific source.
Yeah.
So that for that source, that is what we call the switch. Have you gotten me?
Okay.
It's like
yeah.
if I would take a picture, but I'm not sure exactly where our switch is, but it's where you find there are very multiple ports. There is usually a router on top that comes maybe from the internet service provider, then it connects to the switch, and then the switch provides internet through cables to everywhere. So that's the switch.
Oh, I have seen one. Yeah.
You've seen one, yeah?
Yeah,
so that one, a switch connects multiple devices within the same local area network and forwards database. So that's the network switch. Then
a question.
Yes.
You mean like a switch is only needed for like those which have wires. Like it doesn't necessarily need like a switch when it's a wireless network.
If it's a wireless network, then we are going to connect directly onto the what? Onto the router. Then we don't need a switch.
Okay.
But however, a switch can transfer to another router. Have you gotten that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a switch can still provide to another router, and that router will act as a Wi-Fi. But however, that router, in most cases, you have to set it so that it has the same IP address as the upper router, so that it's not standing on its own. That's not standing on its own. That is how it will go. So it's the same thing. So if we are connecting wireless, we can use the router already. The switch is just mainly for the Ethernet cables onto different. Then you've heard something about a modem.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've heard about something like an access point.
No, I don't know what's that.
So an access point, if you know, a router is an access point.
If you would care to explain what is like an access point in a few terms.
So explaining an access point is, let me say, if I use my phone and connect I put on the hotspot, my phone becomes an access point. So an access point is how you connect to internet, how you connect devices to a wireless internet connection.
Okay.
So that is an access point. So it's like a bridge. Let me say, we can say it's like a bridge between the wired network to the what? So obviously at this point, if my router is connected with the wire, let me say the wire has come from the switch, so my router becomes an access point. So my router, if I connect to my router maybe via Wi-Fi, that becomes my access point. So it connects me to internet via, it's like a bridge between the wired network to the wireless network.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is mainly an access point. So an access point, so let me ask, when does a router become an access point, and when does a router connect to a switch?
The router becomes an access point when people are trying to connect to the router without any cables, like trying to connect your laptop to the router, to the Wi-Fi. And it becomes like a switch. Yeah, the switch. You said, what's the other scenario?
When does a router connect to a switch?
Oh yeah, the router connects to a switch, like when you're trying to connect your desktop or any other kind of device using cables to connect to the router, but you want them to connect them directly using cables. So you have to use a switch in order to allocate the internet differently.
Okay. That's right. So we just get a cable from the router to the switch, and then the switch transfers everywhere. Okay. And then we've talked about already the firewalls, the securities, that's also part. So we are going to talk about mainly, we spoke about the IP addressing, we spoke about the IPv4 and the IPv6, then you noted down the differences. So we are now going to go to a subnet mask. What do you understand by that subnet mask?
What's subnet mask?
So a subnet mask, like when we have a subnet mask defines, let me say, it defines which part of the IP address is the network and which part is the host. So if you remember, you're going to share your IP address, share your screen and then share your IP address. You're going to see the subnet mask on below. You share your screen so that we can see. So I show you, this is the subnet mask, and this, you're going to see where there's a subnet mask. This is the network, and then this is the host.
Mr. David, how can I find the subnet mask? Or anybody can help me.
You're using a Windows laptop, no sir?
Yeah.
So you're going to open the command prompt, either command or you open PowerShell. Use partial.
Partial.
Yeah, search for partial. Or you can use command prompt, any that you prefer. It's the same thing. Command prompt or partial, it's the same thing. So we are going to put in IP config. So you're seeing your subnet mask?
Yeah.
Now that is your subnet mask. Has the network portion and then the host portion.
Which
So
one
the
is
main,
the network portion and the host portion?
so are you saying the first before the 0?
Yeah.
So that is the network portion. So you'll find that as you continue, you're going to find another stroke that denotes if there are more devices. You're going to find that denotes. So this becomes your network portion, and then there is a host portion in case another device joins. Yes. Okay. So let me see what we are supposed to continue with. So you saw the gateway.
Yeah, I did. I saw it.
What do you think is the essence of the gateway?
Gateway, to my understanding, would be the, I don't know, maybe the address, the IP address.
So the default, the gateway, you remember where I said that if you remember when we shared our screens with Linda here, we had the same default gateway.
Yeah.
So that is like the entry and exit of data. So if we are to connect to the internet, since all of us are connecting to the internet, if I'm to search for Google, if I'm to go and put in Google, if I've used maybe my IP address, which is the one that has the 0.1, but I already have the default gateway, that is the first one. What it's going to read as it sends communication to Google, it's going to use the default gateway. And then when it brings back the information, the results, it's going to send them to my specific IP address. So the default gateway is like the way, it's like how we it's like the road or the channel to communicate from your device to the internet, to what you want to access. If it's Netflix, the way your device connects to Netflix, the other side, it's through the default gateway. So it connects your local area network to another network. In that case, if I'm to search for Google, it's connecting my local area network to Google. That is the gateway.
Yeah.
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 So then we have what we call the domain name system. Have you heard of something about domain name system?
Yeah, I think it's the one which translates the domain into an IP address.
I beg your pardon?
As I think it's the one of the protocols which translates the domain name to an IP address.
So let me give you an example. If I said Google, what is that?
That's the domain name.
Okay. So the 8.8.8.8 becomes the what?
It's the IP address.
Okay, that's right, because that's the IP address for the Google, for the domain of Google. So
yeah.
The main importance of the domain is to make it easy. Actually, the domain is the domain name is what we know. If I said Netflix, that is the domain name. But if we go into computing, the domain name is not going to be, if in computing, if you put in, it does not see Google. It's going to transfer Google into an IP address, and the IP address that is going to, and it's going to transfer to 8.8.8.8. That's the IP address it knows. So it will connect to that IP address. So that is how it works. So when you type your website in the browser, your computer will ask obviously the domain, the DNS server for the IP address for that domain. So when the DNS server responds with the IP address, then your computer uses the IP address to connect to that website. In other ones, if it's a phone, we shall say, the name might be David, then the number, that's the phone number. And then the DNS, that will be like the phone book where you're going to find your contact list.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is mainly about that. Obviously, you're going to find that there's what we call DNS records. For example, if you're going to like host a website, there's where they're going to tell you transfer your area code to maybe to this. So the area code will be the one that maps the domain, maybe the IPv4 address to what. In case we are hosting a website sometime or we are doing a website, you'll see where we are transferring those. There's where we transfer the CNAME record that aligns the domain name. And there's where we are doing the MX record that is mainly common in case you're trying to connect Microsoft 365 to maybe a specific site. They can ask you for that. In case you want to, let me say the text record, that is also the same thing, maybe for verification. You'll find, you just add these under, you'll go to your DNS settings. In case you already have a domain, let me share something here, very small. Let me look for my name chip. Let me share my screen. So you guys are seeing the use of the authenticator code. So it's equally important as obviously, if you don't already have an authenticator code, you have to apply it to most of your devices to gain security. Let me look for my application. So this is the domain name. So I'll come here to the advanced DNS settings. So you think this is the area code. So in case you search for my site, this is, you see, this is the area code. So when you search for AWWE, it will obviously connect to this. Then the CNAME, this is what you'll discover. This is where I added this is, obviously this connects you directly to an email. So for you to connect to your website, you have to fill these all in, all of these, you fill them in. The area code, each has its purpose. Each of it, the area code that maps the domain to the IPv4 address. That is the importance of the area codes. And this is the same so that in case a person searches for it, in case he uses WWE, it's still the same device. You see, same domain. Nothing changes. This is an alias of another domain. And the mail server here, in case we want to connect, the person is communicating to us, it automatically directs it to our Microsoft email. Text records, I think it's also here. This is an additional test for verification. For example, some sites, in case you want someone to Google your website and then find it, you might have to add the text record from there. It is what we call, I'm forgetting the term, where you make your site visible, in case where you set your SEO, where you make it visible to Google. So what you're going to do, someone should share the screen and then he checks for their DNS. We see someone sharing, maybe checking for the DNS, and we see all that. To check all the DNS. Are you in position to share, Hussein?
Yeah, I can share.
Yeah, so you'll just put ipconfig, then space stroke all. Will give you all the available DNS servers. Then space, you leave a space, then stroke. The stroke that is usually near the question mark, not that one. Delete that. There's a stroke that is on the question mark around there. The slanting stick. Yeah, that one. Then you put all. Then you can press enter. So we shall go slowly by slowly. You see, your DHCP. Had we spoken about the DHCP?
DHCP, I said, is the protocol which is in charge of allocating the IP addresses.
Okay. So you can go back. Oh, you've removed it. We have not reached the part. Okay. You're seeing our DHCP server, DHCP v6 client, DNS services, DNS servers. You're seeing them?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can scroll down.
I think this is it.
Okay. So what is the DHCP?
As I said, it's one of the protocols which gives each device its own IP address.
So let me ask. Does your phone have a DHCP?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, each device has its own DHCP.
Does the printer have a DHCP?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. All right, then I think because a DHCP automatically assigns IP addresses to devices. So it saves time and avoids manual IP configuration. So you've heard of network protocols, yes?
Yeah.
What do you understand by HTTP and HTTPS?
HTTP is a hypertext transfer protocol. I don't remember very well, but it's the one which allows you which provides the web pages once you try to search for a website. It's the one which provides the web pages.
Okay. So HTTPS and HTTP are the same, but why the other one has S at the
HTTPS
end?
is the secure one.
Yeah, it's the secure version. And one uses port 80, another one uses 443. But this is how it's mainly web communication. It's how this device communicates to another. This website communicates to another. It's just that. Yes. That is it. For HTTP, it's not very, very safe. That's why I said in, I think, cybersecurity, we shall say that it's not advisable to use sites that have HTTP, not HTTPS, because if a site is on HTTP, someone can easily access your devices. And how do you encrypt your site? That's why we use SSL. The only way we can apply these things is mainly if maybe now we are trying to work on a website, on a project. Maybe we are creating a project, a website, and you have your domain, you've not purchased an SSL, so you have to use, let's say, crypt and then make your SSL so that you encrypt your website. So that as it's searched for, it's seen as, it'll like a safe website. Then you've heard of something we have talked about DNS, that is, it resolves domain names to IPs. Then TCP, that also TCP, you know, TCP or IP? What's the purpose of IP?
TCP, I think, is the one which is in charge of ensuring that the data which is received or which is sent is accurate and full, like there's no missing data. And the IP is the internet protocol. Yeah, they usually go together, like TCP and IP.
So let me say, if the bus is taking children to school, the bus is the TCP. That's so.
Is a TCP.
Then
Yeah.
the school is the specific Yeah, this code is the IP
Yes, the
address.
IP.
Is the IP.
Yeah,
Okay, FTP, that is for file transfer. SMTP, that is for email transmission. All those.
yeah.
So we have done one of the practical skills. We have viewed the IP addresses. You can also, you know how to ping? You ping a device to test the
No,
network
I don't know how.
connectivity.
No.
You go to, you open your Chrome, you open your command prompt, and then you'll just command ping. You'll put in ping.
Is this it?
Let's specify you ping Google itself. You're
Oh,
going to
ping
put ping
Google.
8.8. You know the space, You put ping space, then
Yeah.
in space, then we put
8.8.
8.8.8. There are 4 8s.
Yeah,
Then you press enter. Listen. So this shows you how it's like, let me say, how it is like the network connectivity. So you can ping to sites, yes? In case, now how we apply this, in case, let me say it can be like a company, and then some people are saying maybe it is slow this side, the server is slow here, server is slow here, you get? So you can ping both sides. So there's where you ping both sides, and then you see the speed. How fast does it take for it to communicate? Yes? So it will show you here.
yeah,
The minimum communication is 14, I think, ms. Then here the maximum is 23 ms. Average is 18. So you'll compare the two sides, and then you will find out which one is lagging behind and which one is what is easy. So you can also
yeah,
we can also trace the route of like how, let me say, in case you put something like you type TRACERT, then space google.com. Now there we are tracing the route to Google. Remember that is from your device, yes?
yeah,
It will be showing you. So it shows you the response time for how you reach your devices. So yeah, it's going to show you it shows you the IP addresses of each router that you're going to connect to. Are you seeing them? Yeah?
yeah,
You see that, yeah? So those are different IP addresses. From your device, this is your IP address, the 10.001. You remember that? Are you seeing it? If you remember your IP
yeah,
address. So now from that, it's going to hop onto this other device here. So from that device, then it will connect to this IP address. I think this might be your service provider. Yes? Seeing the 10 is similar.
yeah,
Then your service provider, it will also hop onto another one until it communicates directly to the what? To the main network, and then it still brings you back the information. So that's how you trace. Now this is the main where you're accessing Google from. So it shows the network path.
yeah. So the first one, this one is my laptop,
Yeah, this
and
is your laptop.
this
You're
is
seeing
the
your
other
IP
one.
address? Yeah, then
Yeah,
most likely this might be your service providers like that, different IP addresses.
yeah, yeah,
So in that we connect like that.
yeah. And in the eighth one, this IP
Yeah,
address
and
is the same.
remember,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's the same as the Google.
So just know each IP address, each hop, actually each skip from 3 milliseconds to this, that is another router you're connecting to. You get?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's another router you're connecting to. And that's the response time. It shows you the response time it takes. You get? So that is
yeah,
obviously you're going to find here it says it ends in 17 seconds. You remember when we pinged Google from our first time? Showed the minimum is 14 seconds and the maximum is 23 seconds and the average is 18. You seeing here?
yeah,
If we are trace,
yeah.
it is done in 17 milliseconds, which is inside our what? So you
No,
use this
computer.
for like, this is how you apply it in like, you're given, maybe it's a company and then the network is not what? Balancing. So you ping You ping and you know where is the problem, which side is lagging behind, which specific part is lagging behind. You ping
Oh, so
the IP
when
address.
we say the network is lagging,
Yeah,
you
it's
first
lagging
of all
behind. Why is it
ping.
lagging? You can ping to know. So
You
it might
you
show
put
you
in
which
the.
hop.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
okay. Continue.
Yeah, yeah, and you said to ping you have to put in like the IP address
Yeah.
of the router, and
Now,
it
if we are
shows you
going to let's give an example. You remember here I was showing you my site here on Namecheap, not so?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So if you get like the IP address for a specific site, because that we are using for Google. Let me look for another
yeah.
site's IP address here. Maybe for Netflix. Let me look for the one for Netflix. Then I give you. You can be putting in ping. Let me get the one for Netflix. You're also going to still see the communication. It's going to give it to me directly, but I've not found it here. I was trying to search for it. But you can try this. You put in 52, ping in the space 52.0.131.132. That is among the Netflix photos. Maybe it will give us something. Let's ping that one. You are not able to access, but you can ping. I think you can even ping your site, your own connection. It's refusing. It's okay. Since it's used, it has different servers. We sent 4 packets, we received none. Same thing, it will show you where your site. That's why at first you can just ping and then you know. This is what we call NS lookup. And say NS lookup. You put NS lookup. It's one word. Lookup, yeah. Then you can put the space. Let's use, I wanted to use netflix.com, but let's use google.com. Let's use Google. I think it gives us the address. I don't know. Yeah, you see? I think the 142 app here that connects to this, to one of their servers, you see? If you're to go back and check number 7, your hope number 7, where we were checking for the trace route of Google, you're seeing something common with the lower addresses. You've seen it? It only differs here on the 69 but it shows it's coming from the same. It's the same way we are connecting back to Google. I think. Yeah. So all that's how you can use it, especially that is in support, IT support. In case someone says their servers are down, they're not accessing the internet, that's how. Then we can also assign IP addresses manually. That is also very, very crucial, especially in companies. You might have to assign for them an IP address. Maybe the CCTV camera, you might have to assign it the same IP address so that. So we have done that part. Let me see if there is another exercise maybe we can do. We have worked on the DHCP dynamic IP. We have checked for our IP. You can ping another device. I can give you my IP address and then you ping. Let me give you my IP address there. You ping my IP address. Let me get it here. You put in ping. Have you written ping? Because I'm not seeing your screen.
Can you see it now?
Yeah, I'm seeing ping.
Ping.
One space, then 192.168.8.1. You can't access it. That's how you, in case you have access, you can know. I can show you how it's getting access to the internet for your site in case I was trying to, but you can ping your router. Actually, let's ping your router. You have already the other main address, yeah? You can ping, you ping your address. That might be easy. So I want us to conclude this. There are just going to be a few questions. Beata, are you still there or she left us? Lucky?
Yeah, I have already pinged it.
Yeah, you've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shows. That's your statistics. So let's just go over these small questions. So what happens, yes, if two pieces have the same IP address?
Yeah. If they have the same IP address, like one wouldn't be able to function. Like they would require you to switch to another IP address.
Okay, that is correct. So do you believe one can use one of the pieces?
Yeah, no. If they have the same IP address, I don't think you would be able to use them.
Okay. So what's the difference between pinging an IP address and pinging a domain?
Pinging an IP address and pinging a domain.
Because at last you pinged your
Well,
IP address. Have you seen the difference?
yeah.
Then
No,
you
wait.
can look at the difference from here where you pinged your IP address, and then you also look at where we pinged Google.
Okay.
You seeing that? And then you check for where you pinged Google from.
Well, here it takes a little bit more time, but pinging an IP address doesn't take any time at all. I think that's the difference.
And then there is something you have to notice. Are you seeing as you ping the IP addresses? Are you seeing
Yeah.
those different IP addresses, the different DNS difference? It's constant. It's 10.0, 10.000. You check up the other side. The different packets, each hop. Are you seeing here? We get different IP addresses at each level. You get?
Yeah. Each level you have different
Yeah.
IP addresses.
So because here there is DNS resolution. Here at first as you ping it, this is your IP address, so it has to ping it to a known maybe domain service, domain name server, domain service server, something like that. It queries first has to first translate, then it sends packets to the IP address like that. But here, if the ping address goes straight, you find it's even faster and easier. That's why it's eyes. So let me ask, how does a DHCP simplify network configuration?
How does it simplify network? Yeah, because normally
Beata, the first way, Beata, are you there? Beata?
How does a DHCP simplify a computer configuration, right?
Yeah, network configuration. Do you know what DHCP means?
Dynamic host configuration protocol.
Okay.
Okay, how does a DHCP simplify the computer network configuration? Okay, it says it's like it simplifies computer configuration by automatically assigning IP addresses and other network settings to devices. So you don't have to, okay, it's an automatic, it automatically assigns IP addresses to devices and other networks such that you don't have to manually assign it. Did you get that?
I've gotten that. Hey, that's correct. It reduces manual configuration errors because if we don't have a DHCP, we'd have to assign IP addresses ourselves. So how it helps if in case it's a route and then you have a DHCP, it will automatically assign each user that joins, yes, their specific IP address. It's the same situation with, so it avoids accidental conflicts. So let's continue. Is Beata there? I give her the next question. Beata, are you there? It's not there. So Hussein, let's continue.
Okay, let me ask, was there ever a time where you have to manually assign IP addresses to devices?
Yes. I beg your pardon?
I say, was there ever a time wherein they will manually
there are times
IP
when you
address?
have to. There are times when, for example, if you want to create a static IP address for a printer, you can manually assign the IP address. In case in case you want to, you can actually also manually assign an IP address. For example, if you're connecting maybe your Wi-Fi, yes, maybe your Wi-Fi has connected, let me say you've connected it to the switch, but then you want to still connect it to another Wi-Fi, but using the main Wi-Fi. So for that new device that you're going to get, you will have to assign it the same IP address as the main device. Why you've understood me? So
Okay. No. Let me get it correctly. Is
okay.
that, let's say I connect my phone to a Wi-Fi, then I
Yes.
want to also connect another device to my phone.
Yes.
Okay.
No.
So it means that,
That's
know what
going
it
to be
means?
that becomes more difficult. It does not mean like that. Let me give you an example. So
Okay.
so you have, let me say, you give me some of the internet service provider companies you have that side. I give
Sorry?
you a practical example. Internet service providers, you have that side.
Hello?
Okay, hello. Let me give you an illustration. We have MTN usually this side in Africa. There's MTN, there is Airtel. Yes? If I have a Wi-Fi router, yes, and I've paid for, let me say I've paid for MTN, yes, as my Wi-Fi provider, as my router. So if I've paid for MTN, but then remember through the Ethernet cable, I can still connect the Airtel router to internet. You know that.
True.
But remember, the
Yes.
Airtel router will already have its own IP address that is assigned by the Airtel internet service provider. Yes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Just give me a second. Let me.
I think it is on a quick call. He's going to come back to you shortly. If there is someone who would want to share something in advance, you could please share the screen of it going through what you found or what you need to do as David comes back.
Okay, sorry about that. So I was still explaining. So if we are to assign an IP address to our device, yes, to that the Airtel router, we are going to give it the same IP address as the one from our service provider. So from the MTN service provider. So for us to assign it that IP address, we are going to give it that IP address. So that IP address, automatically we shall be assigning an IP address from the one above. So we shall be giving it an IP address. So that way we are assigning an IP address. However, we are assigning it an IP address from above so that they are on the same network, same internet connection. Yes?
Question.
So yes.
As you said, like in order to, like, you would connect to an Airtel router,
Yeah.
but still use the internet connection
From
from
MTN.
MTN.
Yes.
Just by assigning the Airtel router the IP address from the MTN. Am I correct?
Yes. Yes.
So meaning you would be using MTN, but you would be using the internet from MTN, but on a Airtel router, right?
Yeah. So that is mainly that. Then the other questions are, why do we need a getaway? You remember that part?
Yeah. Coming back to that part we just finished, like how do you manually configure that IP address on the
IP address.
Airtel router?
So usually when usually you connect to that IP address even without internet, yeah? There is something if you check behind your router, there's where they give you an HTTP code, yeah? That has a
Yeah.
specific IP address like 192.190 what. So you go to settings. So when you go to your settings, you change There's where you can change the IP address. So you assign an IP address that is under your IP address. You get it?
Yeah, so you can
Remember,
just do it on your
so
laptop.
if yeah, you can do it on your. If the other one was 8.88.1, yes.
Yeah.
So you can assign your new Wi-Fi 8.88 same. Then you can give it maybe where there is 1, you can give it 2. You get? It's still under the same IP address. You understand? But
Yeah.
then it has a different. Remember, the IP addresses can't be completely the same. The last numbers have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
change. Yeah. You don't give
Yeah.
it exactly, because if you have the same, you remember we said if it's the same IP address, one is going to work, one is not going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is what happens. So let me ask, how can you tell if a network issue is a local or external?
Repeat that.
How can you tell if your network issue is a local issue or it's an external issue?
An external issue, you mean like a wide issue, right?
Yeah, a general issue. How do I know that maybe it's my computer that is having a problem, or an external issue? It's a general issue. Maybe all people using MTN are not accessing the internet at that time, or it's just my device. How do I know?
I think you would use the method we were using about pinging, like you could ping the
Yeah, that
IP
is
address
correct.
from
That's right.
this.
So one
Yeah.
thing, you ping your gateway. So if we pinged our gateway, remember our gateway is the one from the IP. Yes. If you
Yeah.
ping your gateway, it shows that your local network is fine. So after that,
Yeah.
you ping the site. Maybe you're using Google. You ping the external IP that is for Google. If the Google IP address fails, but the gateway ping works, that means the connective issue is external. It's from Google. You get?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the other one is you can also ping the domain google.com. So if you ping the domain, if it works, if it fails, then there is likely a DNS issue.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
another way is that you trace the route. You remember the trace out? You trace the route, and then you
Yeah.
see where is it stopping. You'll find, and it can help you identify the location. You'll find where it stops and it lags. Yes? Or there is where it takes a
Yeah.
lot of time and it stops. So the trace route can help you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe you can try to assign IP addresses to do these things manually. Then you experiment with subnet masks, all that. Other than that, I think we can call networking and maybe introduction to the IT foundations. I think we can call it something that is okay.
Yeah.
Next
I
time we
have a
should.
question.
Yes.
It's not a bit like I would like you to remind me about the subnet mask, like the way you just explained the gateway.
Yeah.
Yeah. How would you explain like the subnet mask?
Remember, I said the subnet mask. Let me first look for a live example. A subnet mask is like, remember where I told you one connects to the network and then one connects to the host. A subnet mask is what, how do I bring it very well? Just
Oh
like
yeah,
you
it's the
hear,
one which differentiates the host and the
yeah, it
router, right?
differentiates the network portion and the host. For example,
Okay.
the IP, for example, you can have your IP address. Your IP address is going to have a subnet mask. At the
Yeah.
end of your IP address, are you seeing where your IP address, for example, let me show you. Actually, you remember your 10.00, 10.00? You remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
The first
Yeah.
part where the 10.1010 is common, yes?
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
your network portion, yes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then the 10 is the number of the host. You get it?
Yeah.
So if on your
Yeah, yeah.
devices, your device was showing 0, that means there are 0 hosts on that. You get? Or that
Yeah.
is your number. That
Yeah.
is your host number on it. So the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
part, so that is the subnet mask. So the subnet mask is the same mask for the IP address, but it's just, you know,
Yeah, yeah, I get it.
why you have gotten me. I hope.
Yeah, I do get it.
So the subnet mask helps you to identify which devices are like on the same network. Just like I showed you my device, mine and for Linda, if you remember. We're in the same
Yeah.
office. So we had the same network portion, but different hosts
Different host portion.
at the end. Yeah. Yeah. So it helps routers forward packets correctly, something like that. Then it also enables to divide network into smaller portions. It helps so that if it makes my IP different from my IP address different from another person's IP address.
Yeah, I get it.
So mainly that. Or maybe we look at IT support and troubleshooting and then maybe some few basics. Maybe let's look at IT support main. We go through the ticketing and everything there.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, Kali, guys, have a nice day.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.